Welcome on board Qatar Airways' best first class ever. But Dan, what is this seat and why has it not been advertised? Fear not, my friends, you will know everything you need to know by the end of this video. And I'll take you along to see what first class is like on the world's highest voted airline in 2022. Let's check it out. Let me jump straight into this review and I'll provide context and background on this new seat throughout the video, including why the seat even exists, and then discuss how you can get an incredible deal when redeeming miles for this flight. My day started at 5:30 a.m. in Doha after sleeping 10 hours because I'd flown in overnight from Canada the day before. I was excited, so I hopped in my $5 Uber, always take Uber instead of taxis in Doha, and made it to the exclusive business and first class check-in area at Doha Hamad Airport around 6:30 a.m. The porters greeted me and showed me inside where one of the world's most grandiose and impressive check-in experiences was awaiting. This is Safwa first class check-in, a place so nice you probably won't want to leave. You get your own private check-in desk where you sit and are treated to a rose-scented hot towel while they print your boarding pass and check if you have any special requests. I have to say that few check-in experiences around the world beat Qatar's Al Safwa check-in, but of course it's only available if you're flying out of Doha. Now we head through our private security channel into the first class lounge. The really crazy thing is that people even flying to Kuwait, Dubai, Muscat, a bunch of other cities in the Middle East get to use this check-in because those flights are classed as first class flights. After clearing my private immigration and security check without another passenger in sight, I followed the sign up the escalator to one of my favorite lounges in the world, the Al Safwa First Class Lounge. This lounge opened with the new airport in 2014, but it feels like it could have opened just yesterday. In many ways, the grand halls of the lounge feel like something out of a museum, which does make sense given that there are several objects on exhibition throughout. This lounge reminds me of something that the Qatari family and I have in common, our art collections. We both collect multi-million-dollar paintings from the world's best artists like Banksy and Picasso. The Al Thani family, the ruling family of Qatar, spends around $250 million a year on art. Why do they do it? Well, besides filling Qatari museums and their massive mansions, they collect art because they know its strength as an investment and have spent an estimated $1 billion on it. That kind of art has been outpacing the S&P 500 by more than double in the past 25 years. And that's $1 billion being kept safe from inflation and even appreciating in value. Records show that the last time inflation was this high, art appreciated a whopping 33.2%. Even better than gold or real estate. While everyone else is down 20, 30, or even 40% this year, art is up 32% for the year. Stats like this are why I'm so glad I invested in art nearly 9 months ago with Masterworks. They let you invest in the same kind of art the royal family does, but for a fraction of the price. Their collection of over $500 million in art is already up over 15.3% on an annualized basis. With inflation through the roof, demand for their paintings has also spiked, so there is a wait list. This is not investment advice, but if you are interested and you use the link at the top of the description, you can skip to the front of the line and use Masterworks alongside me. As you walk, you'll hear lounge agents' walkie-talkies activate, and if you listen closely, you'll hear them say, "This gentleman is Mr. X or Mr. Y. He's traveling to Zurich." That's the level of personalization. There are kids' rooms, game rooms, full-on bedrooms available on a first-come, first-served basis, and a spa with jacuzzis that are now free to use. There's also a dedicated duty-free shop in the lounge so that all the rich people don't have to interact with the peasants below. God forbid. I finally made it to the central piece of the lounge, this breathtaking, approximately 10-meter high waterfall of sorts. I have such fond memories in this lounge, including taking class here once in college, before hopping on a flight to Kuwait. Thanks, miles and points. There is naturally an a la carte restaurant with breathtaking views of the apron, so I kindly requested a seat and settled in. The lounge menu is remarkable, and although most of the food is not cooked in the lounge, rather just heated and plated there, the quantity of food choices is amazing, as is the drink selection. This is the type of place I could happily spend all day. I decided to go full on Arabic with my meal order, and within 10 minutes, my stunning food was brought out. Qatar Airways makes some of the best full Pajamas in the Gulf, I'm telling you, and it was perfection. Of course, I had to get an Arabic meze, which was also delicious as always, and I had Arabic coffee with that. They gave me a low-key 5 dates to go with my tiny cup of coffee, which is an insane date to coffee ratio. Also, how could I be in a Qatar Airways context without adding a lemon mint to the mix? All of this was accompanied by another rose-scented cold towel. Ugh, is this Nonstop Dan heaven or what? On this day, I also got to experience a special feature of the Al Safwa lounge for the first time, namely lounge boarding. This is something Emirates is very famous for, but at Qatar Airways, this only really occurs if you have a bus gate. There's another dining area here which doubles as a waiting room. There were a good dozen flights departing with bus gates from here, mostly for Privilege Club Platinum members in business class, but eventually at 7:50 a.m. I was called along with another Platinum member on my flight. They have special buses for first class passengers which are naturally very comfortable. Having just come back from New York, I wasn't shy to talk to strangers, and this was my networking moment. It turns out the only other passenger boarding the bus with me happened to be the freaking project manager for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. I should talk to strangers more often. Anyway, here is our plane.
Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god! What is that?
Wait, this is not a regular Qatar Airways plane. What on earth is this livery, Dan? So let me explain. Qatar Airways is having a bit of a fleet crisis, think A350, and basically as a temporary solution, although we could be talking years here, Qatar Airways is leasing aircraft from Oman Air, and in this case, 4 777-300ERs from its partner, Cathay Pacific. That is why you might recognize the interior, because this is actually a Cathay Pacific aircraft with the Cathay Pacific seats. This aircraft comes in a 4-class configuration, which makes this the only 777 in Qatar Airways fleet to feature first class, and the only aircraft in their entire fleet to feature premium economy. Akbar Al-Bakr, the airline CEO, is strongly against premium economy, which makes this an incredible opportunity for all economy class passengers traveling to the destinations served by this aircraft, namely Zurich, Istanbul, and the Maldives, because they can select the premium economy seats on an economy ticket. What a deal! Business class features traditional reverse herringbones, which have had a slight Qatar Airways touch added, and I'd say it's quite a great product. All the way in front, you have the 6 first class seats in a 1-1-1 configuration. As you'll see on board, there's a strategy to choosing seats, so let's check it out. My friends, a very warm welcome on board Qatar Airways 777-300ER first class. Although the cabin doesn't feel super new or fresh or anything, it is so spacious and impressive. Having just 3 seats across on an airplane that has 10 seats across in economy is epic. And as you can see, the window seats are identical to the middle, so it's pretty clear the window seats are superior. The seats on the left side of the aircraft, the A seats, are alone on that side in the sense that the middle seats open up to the right side, making the A side of the plane, the left side, the most private place to sit. There was only one other passenger on my flight who sat in the throne 1A, so privacy was far from an issue. In fact, I think we could try cramming all 500,000 of you on board and we wouldn't even see each other because this cabin is just so private. Now, Qatar Airways focuses heavily on their business class, promoting it as first in business. So their first class footprint has traditionally been tiny. For many years, it has only been offered on their 10 A380s. And of course, they also have the other first class, which is actually just a marketing spin on their intra-Middle Eastern business class. Now, they've increased their first class capacity by 30%, adding these 4 777s, and I must say, this seat is quite superior to their A380 first class, making this the very best seat in their entire fleet. So, let's take a look at what makes it so good. Besides the privacy, this seat really has it all. The footrest, if you can reach it, doubles as a buddy seat so you can dine with a friend or loved one. There are copious amounts of storage on board, so much in fact that you could sneak your kids on board for free and just put them in this massive closet. There's also a smaller storage compartment ahead of you and one to the side in addition to this large surface where any other items can go. The seat itself is wide enough to fit 2 people next to each other. Around there, you'll also find your charging ports and seat controls, which are the only true sign that this was once a Cathay Pacific plane. It has a pretty powerful massage function, which I utilized as consolation that I was too young to experience the days when Virgin Atlantic offered free onboard massages in upper class. Right ahead is the massive entertainment screen, which sadly offers quite a scaled back version of Oryx 1. It's not bad by any means, but offers less than half the content available on their other aircraft. I was originally going to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, but this aircraft didn't have it. So I decided to watch Encanto because I'd heard so many good things about it. Of course, you can watch the movie with the provided noise cancelling headsets, which as usual, you cannot take home. So let's talk about the really fun part, for me at least, the onboard service. As usual on Qatar Airways, the crew on this flight was hustling from the moment I got on board, welcoming me by name, taking my drink order and towel preference as I settled in. I opted for my favorite lemon mint and a cold rose scented towel, which was served with a small amuse-bouche of olives and cow's milk cheese. I was also thrilled about the Arabic coffee service, so I mean again, non-stop Dan heaven right here. The attention to detail among Qatar Airways crew is incredible, and they kneel in almost every interaction with you, which is such a lovely premium touch. They also took the chance to hand out my amenity kit, the hygiene kit, and my pajamas. We'll take a look at all those and the menus after we've departed. I guess this is as good a time as ever to announce that I'm launching an overdue giveaway to celebrate 500,000 subscribers. I will personally be paying for a round-trip ticket from anywhere to the Middle East or vice versa in Qatar Airways business class for the winner. That's right, Q Suite is on the table. This is my biggest self-funded giveaway ever, and I'm honestly so excited. You must be subscribed and follow me on Instagram to enter, and then submit your entry via the link in the description. Good luck, and thanks for all your love and support helping me reach this mind-blowing milestone. After takeoff, I headed to the lavatory to change into my comfort kit. Ironically, Cathay Pacific and Qatar's lavatory designs are actually pretty similar, and equally beautifully done in my opinion. As always in Qatar Airways premium cabins, the toilet seat cover was replaced between each customer by the crew. I changed into the pajamas from the white company, which are far more comfortable than their old ones, but I ended up only wearing the pants and the slippers. The lavatory also contained a variety of nice amenities, which were nicely complemented by this. For what felt like millennia, Qatar Airways partnered with Bricks to provide some lovely amenity kits, but they've finally shaken things up with the introduction of Diptique amenity kits instead. These are wonderfully Arabic in the sense that as soon as you open the bag, a waft of fragrance pours out, which makes sense because the kit primarily focuses on Diptique products, with this eau de toilette, face and body lotions, and lip balm. Those are accompanied by socks, earplugs, and an eye mask. As I settled in after takeoff, it was time to consume more sugar because calories clearly don't count in first class. This time I went for my other favorite, the pineapple margarita, which was served with hot nuts. I slowly sipped on that as I worked. For me, it's really weird, but the higher the cabin I'm in, the more efficiently I work. Almost as if sitting in first class is motivation to be super efficient so I can make more money and fly first class soon again. I didn't even bother connecting to the onboard Wi-Fi, which would have been a no-brainer had I needed it since Qatar Airways only charges $10 for a full flight pass. Then again, they could throw it in for free in first class. I should mention that the cabin felt quite steamy and there were no individual air vents, but the benefit of first class is that you can really request anything. So I just asked the crew to turn the temperature down and it was sorted. First class, the place where I belong. Naturally, there was dine on demand on board, meaning you can eat whatever you want when you want. The first class menu is so good, it sends my soul to another dimension. For this 6-hour flight, they cater every single option for every passenger, which is very wasteful, but if you're gonna do first class right, this is sadly a necessity. Needless to say, you won't go hungry with so much to choose from. The alcohol selection is equally remarkable, with 2004 Krug among many other premium drink options. About an hour and a half into the flight, I chose to have my first meal. Guys, here it comes, the inevitable drooling over Qatar Airways table setting. The level of professionalism and detail. I decided to start, as every good Qatar Airways flight should, with the Arabic meze, which I enjoyed with a bread basket and my favorite pomegranate balsamic olive oil. I also indulged in the champagne of champagnes, Krug. As if that part of the meal wasn't enough, I followed up with my favorite Qatar Airways dessert, berries with rose water syrup. This is so delicious that I really think you guys should try making this at home. As you can tell, I didn't eat too much because I was still stuffed from the lounge. What a nice light meal presented with perfection, all plated by the crew on board. Stay tuned for more food later on. Naturally, a food coma ensued and I thought, this is my chance to enjoy the bed. Lucian offered turn-down service, which I obviously couldn't refuse, and when I returned from the lavatory, my heavenly bed was prepared for me. With 2 plush pillows, a mattress pad, and Qatar Airways' signature blanket, all I can say is the bed was blissful. Cathay Pacific has one of my favorite first class beds in the world, and I was once fortunate enough 4 years ago now to spend 23 hours in this seat on an overnight flight from New York to Hong Kong via Vancouver. That time I got 9 hours of sleep and still had 14 hours of flight time to enjoy. Talk about a fun time. Just as I was laying there thinking, I've only had 3 hot towels today, as any normal person does, Lucian brought another one out as if he was reading my mind. That got us chatting, and I eventually went to the galley and spent almost an hour chatting with him and the cabin services director, Divya. It's so fun and fascinating talking to people with such diverse backgrounds, and as an av geek, getting to know people working for such a global airline is such a treat. While in the galley, I got a glimpse of the lobster and salmon starter off the menu, which looks incredibly fancy. Honestly, time flew so fast when we were chatting that before I knew it, Lucian said, "Oh my god, Dan, your pre-landing meal, we're starting descent in 30 minutes. So I rushed back to my seat as they prepared meal number 2. This time, the table setting was equally gorgeous. This beautifully presented quinoa salad was part of my special vegan meal I had pre-ordered, and it wasn't really my favorite. The main course that followed, however, yum. This is the vegan main off the menu, and I thought it was delicious. The presentation was just as nice as everything I'd eaten prior. This is when Lucian taught me the biggest Qatar Airways hack ever. As you've noticed, I love lemon/lime and mint. The problem is that it's so sugary and so sour that I can usually only handle one per flight. What a problem, I know. Well, the trick, as he taught me, is for them to prepare it with 40% sparkling water and put some ice in to dilute it. My goodness, this was possibly even better than the original. I liked it so much I had to order seconds just as we began our descent. So guys, what a pleasure it was to fly Qatar Airways 777 first class, even if this product is only temporary. I'm sure once they get the 777X, if ever, we'll see a first class like no other. But for now, this really does the job. Interestingly though, my conclusion from when I flew the A380 in first class still stands. Qatar Airways business class is so good, the first class, especially on these shorter flights, is an unnecessary luxury. You can book it just to experience it since it doesn't cost that much extra. More on how I paid in a second, but really the difference doesn't extend far beyond the seat. While other airlines like Emirates, Lufthansa, British Airways, and Air France, to name a few, make their first class infinitely better than business class, Qatar Airways doesn't have much more it can offer than what they already do in business. One thing I should say is that due to the lingering effects of the pandemic, their business class is still not up to pre-pandemic levels, apart from Paris and London flights, which does make the difference more noticeable with crew plating and full table setting in first class. I haven't been able to find out if or when full service will ever resume on other routes, but just know I'm keeping a close eye on those developments. Thank you so much to Lucian and Divya for an amazing flight.
Thank you. It was our pleasure.
With that, how did I pay? The amazing thing about this specific flight and all Qatar Airways Cathay Pacific 777 flights is that there are almost always 2 first class award seats available on each flight. That means that business class passengers can easily and affordably upgrade, or you can redeem miles outright. I paid 64,500 avios, which can be redeemed through Qatar Airways or British Airways. The best part is that these points are so easy to earn. The best way to get them right now is through the City Premier, which is offering an incredible super limited time sign-up bonus of 80,000 points in the US and transfers directly to Qatar Airways so you can snag an upgrade or redeem for these seats on your upcoming flight to the Maldives, Istanbul, or Zurich. Thankfully, equipment swaps have been very rare on these Cathay 777 flights. With that, I hope you guys found this video helpful and entertaining, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Until then, fly safe.